Hey guys, let's make a fall wreath today. We're going to be using this really cute sign. It's got scallop edging and glitter. It says fall hayrides, apple orchards, and pumpkin pie. So perfect theme for fall with some sunflowers and leaves and pie and pumpkins. So that's what we're going to be using as our attachment. I've hole punched it with my metal hole punch at the top and the bottom, fed the wires through, and then twisted them around each other so that they're coming out of the back of my sign. Okay, I'm using a 14-inch Dollar Tree frame. I happen to be using the gold one today. You could use the black or any color that you want. Some of these on hand and it matches the theme, so I thought why not go ahead and use it. I have pre-wired it with 18 pipe cleaners, 6 on the inside, 12 on the outside, 2 rings. So on the inside 2 rings and on the outside 2, halfway between the middle one and this crossbar. Okay. We're going to also top it off with these little orange berries. I'll show you how we're going to do that when we get to the end. Some black and white check pattern. It does very well for me during the fall season. So we're going to be using that. Let me move this mesh to the side. This is poly burlap mesh. It is orange and yellow and green, perfect fall color theme. We're going to actually use this as our top layer on our wreath. For our bottom layer, I already did all the cruffles because I wasn't thinking, but I'll show you how I do my cruffles when we get to this burlap mesh. We're going to use this black and white buffalo check mesh. It's 10 inches wide and I cut them to 18 inches long. All my mesh pieces are 18 inches long. And we're just going to make cruffles and I'm going to do my curls face side down. And we're going to put it in our first pipe cleaner on these outside 2 rings. And we're going to work only on the outside 2 rings first. So we'll do those 12 pipe cleaners first. And then we're going to come in between the check pattern with this orange. And this is just a standard orange poly mesh. Both of these are from Craft Outlet. Okay, so I'm just going to work my way around, rotating back and forth between the patterns. How is everybody doing this evening? I have had a pretty good day, pretty good couple days actually. My shop has been staying busy, so I'm grateful for that. If you've ordered from me, thank you so much. I am still having that moving sale, so I'm having 35% off one item. If you order 2 or more, you get half off, which is put some really good deals in there. Perfect for like fall and Halloween wreaths. And I even have Christmas in there if you're ready to go that far ahead. And of course, I have my wreath making kits for all of my wreath making friends. Lots and lots of those. I'm going to start on Christmas real soon. I'm excited for that. I'll still be making fall wreaths and Halloween wreaths, but I'll be making kits for Christmas. So. Well, this is going really fast since we had most of these done. Well, not most of them. We had all of them done because I forgot to keep a couple to show you. Hey, Deanna, how are you today? right, we got one more orange one to fit in the middle here, and then I will show you the ribbons that I selected to go with our sign. And we'll do our first layer of ribbons. You're okay, you've been better. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. I was just saying that I've actually had a pretty good couple days. Last couple days have been pretty good. Now hopefully things get better. Okay, so we're going to actually use 4 different ones, but this olive green ribbon, I'm only going to be using on the top layer because when I designed this wreath, I was short on it, but I still wanted some pops of green in the top to go with the green in the sign. So we're going to be using 3 of these cut at 12 inches. And then on the bottom layer, we're going to use these 3. I have the sunflower, which matches our sunflower and our sign, and then also the black and white check pattern matches our sign and our mesh, which I love coordinating colors and patterns. And then it can't be fall without some pretty pumpkin ribbon. So we're going to be using this 1.5 inch pumpkin ribbon, which also matches our sign. And then we're going to use this black and white check to coordinate with all the other black and white check elements that we have. You're praying. I appreciate that so much. And the prayers are definitely working. I know it. I can feel it. I claimed it. And we've seen progress. And I will pray for you too. I hate to hear that you're not doing great. Okay, so for our first layer, we're going to put 1 per pipe cleaner, 1 ribbon per pipe cleaner. So we're going to need, because we're not using the green on the bottom, we're going to need 4 of each of these for the bottom. And then we're going to need 3 of each of these to go with our green on the top layer. So you're going to need a total of 7 of these 3 if you do the same pattern I am. Or you can do what I usually do and do 6 of each if you have enough of all your colors. But this is a nice little tip for if you're short on ribbon and you want to use up that ribbon, like this is only 1 yard. This is a way that you can do it and still have a really pretty design. Okay, so we'll lay these here, and I'm going to just start with the sunflower. And I'm just going to lay the ribbon in front of me and scrunch in the middle, V it back towards myself. And then just lay it in my first pipe cleaner here. And then I'm going to cut it off, leaving a little bit on there to push down in, and then I just squeeze the whole thing to make it really tight so my ribbons are good and secure. Just our ribbons. Okay, and then next I think I will do the black and white. No, I'm going to do the pumpkin next. It's still probably gonna, I'm trying to keep the black and white ribbon off of the black and white mesh, but because I'm doing only 3 ribbons, it's probably still gonna fall on it at some point, but that's okay. Okay, now we'll do the black and white. Okay, and then we're just going to repeat that because we're only using these 3 on the bottom row. So we're just going to repeat that pattern all the way around. some of these pipe cleaners have a thicker wire in the middle. I wish I knew where I got those because I like the ones with the thicker wire a little bit better. Okay, so now we'll do the pumpkin. Is everybody still having scorching weather? I'm in West Virginia and today has been overcast. So even though it's been hot, it's not been nearly as hot today as it has been. Okay, black and white. And just like I figured, it's going to fall on the black and white no matter what, but it's okay. Yes, that's going to happen when we're using an odd number of ribbons. Okay, and sunflower again. You haven't made a wreath in months. You learned how to knit in May, so that is what you've been doing. Still not in Arizona. I've never learned how to knit. When I was younger, I did crochet, and I actually love crocheting. I haven't done it in a long time, but that's awesome. Do you have? I need to go check out your page. Have you posted like any of your knitting or anything on there? No, you haven't posted any. Well, I'll keep an eye out for it for when you're ready and you start posting it. I've just fallen in love with making wreaths. I like making other things too, but wreaths are definitely my favorite. I like to make garlands and centerpieces and swags and stuff too. But I don't know. I just love wreaths. I need to get my stuff out and do, yeah, very time consuming. Yeah, I imagine. Hey, Darlene. You did. It's sometimes, guys, I think it's better if I just pop on without actually having a schedule. It seems like you guys are able to find me and make it more often than when I try to do a schedule. Right now, doing a schedule with my personal life is that's just out of the question. So I just hop on when I can. But the replays are always there, so and I'm trying to do them just about every day. I did miss yesterday, but I'm trying to do one every day because I know once Christmas comes, I think for me last year, it was like that first week of November. And from then through the end of the year, I was so busy that I couldn't do tutorials at all. So I want to get them in while I can. There's so many that you didn't sell. That stinks. Do you do Etsy, Deanna? A lot of people are deterred by Etsy because they hear all kinds of negative things about their fees and stuff. But I'm telling you, it is so worth it because I mean, you just simply add your fees into your price. And then for me, things so that way, and I do calculated so they only pay exactly what it costs, what the post office charges me. And then Etsy gives them a discount because they have an agreement with the post office. So the customer always gets discounted shipping. And you have a built-in audience that's specifically looking for handmade items. And so the fees that they charge to me are so worth it because they've built this entire base of millions of people who love what we're doing, who are specifically looking for handmade when they're looking for a wreath. You had wanted to talk to me about, you never did. Oh, reach out to me anytime. I mean, I know I got a lot going on, and there was a period where I didn't get on Facebook very much because I just couldn't face the world. But you can still message me. I'll get back to you at some point, no matter what. And I'm happy to help anybody. I've tried encouraging several people to do it. I don't know if I've been successful because I have people come to me and say, I can't sell my wreaths. And inevitably, when I ask, they're not selling on Etsy. And it is intimidating to start out if you've never sold online first. It's intimidating setting up the account and figuring out how to do the listings and reading all the rules. But it is worth it. It is so worth it. The time that you spend will definitely pay off. Okay, so I was blabbing and not explaining what I was doing, but I finished the ribbons on the first layer, and so now I just reached in between my mesh here and pulled these 6 pipe cleaners that were on those inside 2 rings out to the outside, and now we're going to use this really, I love this mesh for fall, this poly burlap with like all the different fall colors in it. I don't know if you guys can even see that on the screen, but we're going to use this and we're going to make cruffles. So we're just going to lay it in front of us. These are 18 inches long too. Fold it over. And I did wood burn these. When you're making cruffles, you don't necessarily have to, but the wood burning does help tremendously with fraying. And so that is why I did that. I lost my clip. Here we go. Okay, so I'm just going to put that on there. I did not used to wood burn, and I did cruffles because then that way my mesh would not fray. So you still get a little fraying there, right there some. But then I recently decided to give wood burning a try, and after 6 years or so of making wreaths, it's really not as burdensome to do as I thought it was going to be. So I do wood burn sometimes now. Not always though, because the way I cut my mesh is a lot faster than wood burning. Okay, so these cruffles we're going to place in the opposite direction with the finished edges to the right and the left. And these are kind of like folded over in half and don't have that round shape now. And that's because I had them cut for a project before and then didn't use them. So I had them laying on my shelf. That's why they flattened out and they're not round. I didn't just get them off the roll. You have some of this. Yeah, I love this mesh. And of course, you know me that anybody who's watched me, I love mixing things up. I like to match my colors and my patterns, but I like to mix up the mesh types and ribbon types and stuff that I use. So we have 6 pipe cleaners for this top layer. So we'll be making 6 of these. You know, that was way before I got turned. Oh, you should have messaged me. Lots of people message me and ask me questions like that. I always answer. I always try to help others because people have helped me along the way. So I try to give back and help others too. And if I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. I've been making wreaths since 2017, but I've only been selling on Etsy 2 years. And I can tell you that in that 2 years, I've grown tremendously. Last November and December, honestly, I sold more than I've ever dreamed was even possible on a website like Etsy. And you always have to remember too, you can, start off small. It'll take you a while to get your first sale because you won't have a whole lot of listings. But it's okay to grow slowly on there so that you know what to expect and can keep up with orders and things like that. You need to wood burn them or yes, they do fray terribly. And curling them enough. That's why now I do wood burn them. Even with the wood burning, I'm still having little pieces of fraying. So definitely because of this wide weave that it has, they fray. But I love it. It's so pretty. And I love that it has the yellow, the green, and the orange woven together. It's unique. Hopefully life will be straightened out for me in the not too distant future. Obviously, I don't want to get my hopes too high because this stuff does take time. So I'm just trying to be patient and ride the wave. But it's getting better. Okay, so now we have our top layer of mesh. So we're going to do on each of these. I think I knocked down on my ribbon maybe, or no, it was pipe cleaners. Yeah, I think I knocked my trash in the floor. Okay. So I want to space out the black and white that's in the ribbons. So I'm actually not going to pair these two together, even though they match so well, because I want the black and white throughout the wreath. I'm going to put it behind the pumpkin ribbon. I only have 2 of these, so maybe I did. I'm going to put the green behind the sunflower. Okay, so we'll start with this. When I do my top layer on this design, which I do a lot, I just make an X in front of me and then scrunch in the middle and pinch it together. I try to keep the wired edges folded down on each side whenever possible. I think that helps your ribbons lay a little bit better in your design. And then twist it several times, and then we're going to just do the same thing we did on the bottom layer. Snip it off and push it down in and squeeze it. And then just straighten our ribbons out. I like to curl my ribbon tails, the ends of them. Okay, and then we'll do the green and the sunflower. Many things take time, especially when you're dealing with them. Yes, yes. That's the whole reason it's taking time. government, state courts, anything in courts take forever. Anything in government agencies take forever. Oh my goodness, I cut that way too short. I might have to cut another piece of sunflower. I don't know what I did there. A little bit too short is okay, but that one's like 2 or 3 inches too short. Okay, so now we need the pumpkin. I don't know if I dropped it in the floor or if I just didn't cut enough. Okay, back to the sunflower. Unfortunately, the state of West Virginia is, I hate to speak ill of my state because I love it here. I've lived here my whole life and it's a gorgeous state, but it's not a wealthy state by any stretch of the imagination. And so our agencies and programs and court systems and stuff are not, they're not top notch for sure. So that makes it worse. I think they also have a high turnover in employees because of that, which just adds, that just compounds to the problem. All right, I'm going to grab the black and white ribbon and cut one more because I think I did not cut enough. It's just right behind me, so that's easy. And just dovetail it real quick. Okay, and I'm gonna have to replace the sunflower, but just so you guys can see the finished wreath, I'll go ahead and put this one in, and then after the video, I'll replace this short ribbon because it's actually in my other room, and I don't want you guys to have to sit here staring at the screen while I go find it. And I'm gonna leave this a little bit longer so it's easier for me to fix it. Yeah, he's a little short guy. Oh my goodness. It looks like it's like 10 inches or something. I don't know. But, okay, so that's what it looks like with all the ribbons. Let's go ahead and stick our sign. And I'm actually going to put the sign this way so I can remember the ribbon I need to replace this down here at the bottom. So I'm just going to feed it through my mesh down to my wire frame. I always wrap my wires around 2 of the rings. And then I want this really pretty meshed kind of frame around my sign. So I'm going to go around and pull these all up. Try to make sure I don't mash any of them down. and then just twisting the wire around itself. I usually do that a bunch of times. I don't really count, I just do it a lot. And then I always make my wires extra long. It's easier on my hands. So then I just trim off the extra. I've got some fraying there. Okay. And then I just wrap the wire around one of the rings on the frame and push that sharp edge of the wire up inside. Okay, so we'll do the same thing up here. My wires are getting caught on my mesh, so I'm struggling a little bit. Check my mesh one more time to make sure I'm not meshing any of it. Make sure we're centered. And then just pull it down snug. I don't want to pull it so tight that it sinks all the way to the back. I just want it kind of to float on the top, but be kind of nestled down inside of this top mesh. And then we have some little orange berries that we're going to use. And before I do my berries, I just want to go around and adjust my ribbons because everything kind of shifts around when you're putting the sign on, twisting it around. Okay, so these, I'm pretty sure I got these from the Dollar Tree, and they came like 3 or 4 of these little bunches in a pack. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them apart in groups of 3. I don't think we can actually cut them in groups of 3. They're going to separate, but I'm going to glue them in groups of 3. So I'll just snap these with my wire cutters. I thought I could do all 3 of them at once, but my wire cutters are not sharp enough. Okay, so there's our first bunch. We're going to need 6 bunches because we have 6 of those little pockets on top where we added the ribbon. So now there's 3 bunches. Here's 4. I'm going to need my glue gun warmed up. Whoops. Five. All right, so now we have our bunches. These berries are a little bit little, which is why I'm going to do bunches of 3. So they're not real big. So what I'm going to do, which I don't know if I'm going to make you guys wait for this because I forgot to heat up my glue gun, but I'm just going to take the bunch of 3 and glue them in just like that. Whoops. Like that. They keep falling because I don't have any glue there. Okay, well, my glue gun heats up pretty fast. Maybe we'll glue because you guys are not going to be able to see what this looks like if I don't actually glue them. Ryobi, I have the Ryobi glue gun and it does heat pretty quick, so it shouldn't take us long. Barbara. How are you this evening? And it is almost there. I have to be careful because it heats up really quick and it will burn the crap out of me. Okay, it's probably getting pretty close to ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my dab of glue. I'm going to put it right on the pipe cleaner there. And then we're going to use these little berries to just kind of hide the pipe cleaner. So just like that. I'm going to take my glasses off to be able to see up close, you guys. Getting old is terrible. Not to mention I need an eye exam. I'm overdue. I've been overdue. I'm probably like 2 years overdue. It was just a nice little touch to finish it off and then also like fill in this little indentation a little bit and cover the pipe cleaner all at the same time. And these little berries are actually on metal stems, which I really like because then the glue, sometimes when they're plastic, if this glue gets too hot, it'll melt the stem. But these are actually metal, so that works real well. And I'm putting quite a healthy amount of glue there. I don't know if you guys can see that on the camera because I want to make sure that it's going to hold. I'm even holding them up here a little bit because I want them to kind of stand up. So I'm holding them, I don't know if you guys noticed that, till the glue starts to set up a little bit. That way they'll stay in place while it finishes drying. Okay, and then our last one. Oh no. I need to change that ribbon. Okay, so I'm not going to glue the berries there, guys. I'm going to just let that glue harden so that I can pull it off, hopefully, because I forgot I have to still change this short little ribbon. But there is our finished design. You need to start making your wreath. Love sunflowers. I do too. I love sunflowers. I love sunflowers in the summer and in the fall. I use them for both. I tend to use like a darker yellow sunflower for the fall and then the brighter yellow ones in the summer. I have not watched the Olympics, Deanna. I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't even know they were on. That's how out of it I've been. Like I've been going nonstop every day. I'm going to have some time this evening. Maybe I'll turn them on and watch them. I love the gymnastics. Okay, so this is our cute little guy with our little pops of the buffalo check. That does really well for me during the fall time. It also does well at Christmas time. It's just one of those that it's been around a few years. Its popularity has been around a few years and it's still hanging in there, I guess. Okay, well, guys, I'm all done except for changing out that one little ribbon down there. So I will let you guys go for the evening. You all have a wonderful day. Well, wonderful evening.